everybody, hope you're having a great Tuesday. I can't believe it's been a week. It's just my days on my weeks are really flying by and it's really scary. Whoa! That would be the YouTube from my iPad? Huh. Okay, so hopefully you are having a interesting chess week. There has been some different events. I played the Collegiate Rapid and Blitz event over the week. Slew won the Rapid, but in the Blitz, I don't think we were as successful. I believe Webster won it, but yeah, that was an interesting weekend. I was reviewing Anki flashcards in the middle of the rounds. Don't tell Alejandro. Um, yeah, I think it's been going great so far. But alright, so I can see people are joining. Alright, great. Hello. So last week I showed some dynamic games, including a game or two of Topalov, which I realized, wow, Topalov really has some awesome games. So I dug a little deeper and I have more Topalov games for you. So if you want to name this title Dorsa's Fascination with Topalov Games, or Dorsa anything, just like anything, just like he's such a great chess player. And he's also a very, just warm person. But, alright, enough about that. So, yeah, I have one game that he played against Karjakin and another one that he played against Kramnik. I wanted to show another game that he also had, but I usually don't have enough time to go over more than two, so, we are just gonna focus on these two, and I don't think we're ever gonna run out of Topalov games, so we can just have a whole segment on that. Okay, so also this is one of the first times of using Lichess for showing games, so yeah, hopefully it will go smooth. If not, take it up with Tracy. It should go alright. Okay, so also for those who are looking around, Fishy's sleeping in my books, so you probably could see his head. Oh yeah, as soon as I said his name, his ears moved. Okay. So you get your dose of cuteness from there as well. Alright, let's start. So, I don't like that Lichess is showing arrows, but let's just go ahead. Also, let me disable the sound. I don't want to hear the moves. Alright, so Sicilian. I tried it with black. I have horrible, some of my most horrifying games as black when I played Sicilian or Karokan. That was just that was just, yeah, just thinking about it, I think if there was ever like a horrifying prize for a game, I would definitely win that. But yeah, so I actually might, maybe one day. But if am I doing it for Halloween? Possibly. Huh? No. 27th. Well, close to Halloween. I could pull off like a horrifying face and put that Sicilian game that I have on. Oh boy. That should scare everybody. But enough about me. Let's go back to Topalov's games. Topalov has good games. I'm running out of good games. Oh, this weekend. Alright. So in this game, it was between Karjakin and Topalov. I don't know why I thought it was Kramnik for a second. Kramnik is the next one. Topalov was white on that. Alright, so this is actually, oh yeah, this was the very interesting game. So alright, I'm not gonna talk too much about the opening, especially because these games, well, I feel like everybody also kind of know what they're doing in the opening if you're playing this. Either as white or as black, or if you've never encountered this position, then you're probably a d4 player, and you probably don't play as black. Maybe, yeah. Just, okay, so to me, I've had a lot of different games in this position from white. I tried Najdorf and when I played with black, and that's kind of my horrifying experience because I didn't necessarily know exactly what I was doing, and as soon as my opponent switched some ideas and some moves, I was just like a kid who took their candy away, and I was just completely lost. Um, but yeah, so if you don't know what you're doing in the opening, it's not a good idea to go play it unless you actually have some idea. Like, I never understood why people keep telling their students or like each other, like, hey, you should expand your opening and like just go play today, go play Sicilian tomorrow, go play French. Even super grandmasters or just grandmasters don't do that if they don't actually know what they're doing in that position. Have the most up to date, have the material, but okay. So, yep, that is Sveshnikov. I think they have other names for it too, but I grew up learning this was Sveshnikov, so I'm gonna stick with Sveshnikov. I do play this line, and actually, if you guys have watched other videos of mine, you would have probably seen that I did a video on how I almost crushed, but I got crushed by Anna Muzachuk in this opening. But I was playing white, she was playing black. I was having a really great position, and then bam bam boom. Yeah. Yeah, that was hurtful. Okay. So I actually play the c4 line more often. Not because it's better, but because it's a little bit more trickier in my opinion. Because, well, you can let me put this iPad somewhere so I can actually. Alright. So you can see that you're trying to ideally like bring this knight, because this knight here is just weird. What else you're trying to do? We could try to this c4, b4, you'll still do this knight c2, attacking the pawn, you want to bring this. The one thing about c4 that if you are considering playing is that with c4 this square gets really weak. And okay. No, I think well, even brutally ironical. Even if you're in the level that both of you guys don't know, you knowing is better than you not knowing. So I always grew up really liking to know what I'm doing. Like I want to know. I want to know the opening. I want to know what am I doing. Because a lot of the games that I won, to be completely honest, is just basically because I knew what I was doing and my opponent didn't, and I just won out of the opening, didn't even have to know enough endgames. So if you don't like endgames, then here's your chance. Know enough openings to just kill the opening and never get to the endgame. That's one way to do it. Okay, so anyways, in high level chess they mainly play c3 rather than c4. There are some sacrifices on b5 that have been tried, not in this position, but so if you are into super tactical stuff, that's another idea that you could try, but Topalov is super dynamic and he didn't try in this game. So far everything is going great. Not Topalov. Karjakin. Yeah, I don't know why I always mix up the players who are supposed to be no, it's not about being lazy and avoiding. It's more about just like some people have a preference. Some people prefer playing with a queen. Some people prefer endgames. There is that like biasy. There is that preference, but it doesn't mean that you can't play the other. Like you can't play with queens or you can't play without queens. It just means that you prefer it. So you can use that preference to your advantage. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so I want to ask my first question. What do you guys think about this position? Do you want to be white? Do you want to be black? You do need to know some basic endgame, that is true. You can't just completely avoid them because you can't know for sure that you're never gonna actually get to the endgame. Like that's just a weird thing to think. You should have like your basic survival knowledge of endgame, but you don't absolutely, in like a lower level, you don't absolutely need to know every single theoretical endgame. I'm not gonna lie, this knight on d5 is really bothering me from black side. So I'm still on the verge. Do I want to be white? Do I want to be black? But one thing that black could do in close future is f5. Well, not right now, but probably king h8 soon. So yeah, I see that. I see that the comment about space. Yes, we definitely care more about the space too, especially in these kind of positions. So in the game, one more thing to consider is, you see this pawn here, it's alright, but at the same time I don't want to have to deal with potential like attacks on it. So what about rook b8? Let's just get rid of this idea that you can try and use this pin. So I really like this, just like a kind of like a, you see somebody pinning you and you don't just sit there and watch it, you move away. I like this. Yeah, I do also like the strategical advantages compared to dynamic, but to be fully honest, I really like dynamic first, and then I learned how to think about a strategical position, so I kind of changed my preference. But yeah, right now I'm more comfortable playing strategic than dynamic as well, so maybe that's why I'm so fascinated with Topalov's games right now. Okay, so rook b8, rook a2, and remember just last move we were talking about potentially trying for f5, so I've gotta move this king. So the thing is, because we have two bishops, we would ideally want to open up the center, right? So if we can open the center, that would be kind of awesome, right? Also, I think my camera is... yeah, I think I'm lagging. Oh, man. Alright, give me a second. I think it's because I have chess base open under here. Let me close chess base. My computer seems to really dislike chess base for some reason. Should be a little better. At least it's not making Ice Age noises. I think, alright, I think it's better. We'll give it a little bit more time. If it's still lagging, then oh. Okay, chess base officially completely closed. Should be alright now. Alright. So yeah, we were talking about two bishops. We want to open up the center, right? So in order to be able to open up the center, well, d5 is kind of super Disney idea. We're never going to be able to do d5 in this lifetime. So how about we try for like f5? f5, we want to like take on e4. We want to potentially open up this rook. I like it. We've got two bishops. We got to open them up. Otherwise, then what are we trying to do? So... ooh, wait, who's sending me pistachios? Thank you, BZ. Yes, I am a big pistachio fan. Having grown up in Middle East, of course, I grew up like just pistachios. Yes, also I kind of really like saffron ice cream, if anybody is importing. I find a great global market, close-ish, so I get my ice cream supply from there. But okay, I can't start thinking about ice cream now, otherwise Topalov will go bye-bye and I gotta go get my bucket of ice cream. So let's just think about this position. So actually after king h8, we want to play f5. So white kind of has to stop it, or at least has to delay it, because, well, otherwise, white would just be a sitting duck. So knight e3 seems one way to try and stop it or delay it. So my question to you guys, after knight e3, shall we take that knight, or should we still try and push for f5 somehow? What do you guys want to do? Sophia, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Since a lot of people view it from different time zones, it usually goes up pretty fast within 24 hours. I actually did this thing that I don't know how to feel about it. I kind of started reading the comments. I really liked it, so thank you guys for putting so many comments in the last few videos. It's kind of nice. I thought about answering and I was like, Should I? Should I not? I also don't really have a YouTube like account, a streaming account on my own. So, alright, I see a lot of people you're pretty divided, but I think mainly you guys just want to push. Huh. So, yeah, I think the problem is if we were to play this f5 right away, then knight f5, take, and this, I mean, we should try to figure out what's the safest way to attack. Because right now, then white could have some stuff at h4, and then could bring up the queen pretty fast. And the knight is already in an ideal position. The bishop is also limiting our king, so we don't really want to give that option to white. So I think it's not the best choice to play this f5 right away. Something with like knight e7, I would understand that. I think knight e7 might be pretty chill. Knight e7, take. Don't worry about a5 because we're attacking b2. Knight d5. Maybe queen. Kind of too far. Kind of just like d7 maybe to try to go some cool places. Yeah, or queen e8. So if when we play f5, queen comes out of here. Yeah, I kind of like this. I was thinking maybe knight e7, but Topalov took, then knight e7. And here Karjakin just went b3, and finally we get this f5. So, what do you guys think? Is it a better choice for white to take this or to play knight d5? I got a message from Tracy. She's gonna put the first comment. So guys, make sure to build up on Tracy's comment. Yeah, what is she gonna say? Probably something regarding my inability to use leeches. Yeah, I kind of like knight d5. But like also at the same time, I feel like something with whoa, where's my voice? Knight takes f5 might also be interesting, depending on how you follow it up. Because if as black I get this like bishop up here, then d5, then ooh, black is doing awesome. So I feel like that's something that white should look out for. But I think this is a decent position for both sides. I don't necessarily like white, to be honest, but I'm not saying white is losing. So just a matter of preference. Yeah, knight d5 I think it's just a little bit more active. So knight d5. So question, how are we gonna get these guys out? Hi, old Uncle Bob. That's a great username. I'm very not creative when it comes to username. Everywhere my usernames are like Dorsa D, Dorsa D98. When I've already used that, then I put another D after it. Yeah. Some people really have awesome usernames, and I'm just like, huh. Yeah, I think we gotta get that queen to g5 eventually. I wouldn't say just yet, because we also have to be cautious. We don't want to completely lose up this pawn, and we don't necessarily have like an attack. We're not really forming an attack, because like castle, and even if something like knight h4, still knight e3 stops everything, or even f3 stops everything, because you know, this kind of rook here. So we don't really necessarily want to do that. So, how about bishop b7? Because our bishop is not really ever gonna do much in this diagonal, so we might as well put it in a diagonal that's gonna actually do something useful. Also, we're not necessarily closing our rook, because our rook is also not doing anything in this file anymore. So I like bishop b7. Yeah. Alright, so bishop b7, castle, rook c8. Remember, I just said our rook is not doing anything, so let's put it somewhere that's actually doing a little bit at least. So now, queen d3. Knight h4 is one of those common moves. Knights are generally good when they're actually attacking something or have some taking away some critical squares. Your knight here just looks fancy, but it's not actually doing anything. Your knight on h4 is actually putting some ideas on g2. Maybe want to do queen g5. I like this. So, after knight h4, rook d1. So, I did not understand this move in the game when I was looking at it. So Topalov, if you end up watching this video, please put a comment on why you played h6, because I really did not understand it. Like, I get a feeling that okay, you played h6 just because well, you also don't want to necessarily show your hand on exactly what you want to do, but h6 was out of my scope. So need some explanation on that. I wish I could provide some explanation, but I would not play h6 in the game. I don't think I would also do queen g5 either, because I don't like queen g3. But something maybe a little bit more, something maybe like rook c5, kind of like this. Stops the defense this, you're not going to really do any b4s. I kind of like this. Maybe I want to do like a knight g6, take something here, do like a knight f4. That kind of feels good. I have never done streaming on my own. Not because I'm lazy, because I don't necessarily have the time. If I have the time, I sleep. Yeah, it's last few years have been pretty rough. Next few years will be even harder if/when I get into medical school. Right now preparing for MCAT. Oh. Yeah. Okay, so with that comment, h6. I think h6. If anybody wants to share their thoughts on why h6, please feel free to say it now or later in the comments. I will come back and read them because I'm procrastinating on studying. So yeah. Please, I would really appreciate some insight. Okay, so h6. Obviously, I'm not gonna play queen g5. Nor is Topalov. Knight f5, queen g4, and now Topalov did the move that I suggested instead of h6. Rook c5. I just feel like rook c5 is just one of those moves that's a little weird, but not too weird, because you are attacking the knight, defending the pawn, so your queen is free, but at the same time the rook on c5 is just kind of awkward, because it's not actually like achieving any goals. When you play like a rook to 6th or 5th rank, you're usually trying to switch sides. But yeah, rook c5, I think I'd like to think in a game I would be able to do it, but kind of makes sense to me, no objections there. So yeah, h6 undefending the g6 square pretty deep. Yeah, that's one way. No, I think rook c5 is generally just like a h6 and rook c5. I think those are the moves that the position needs. I want to say because we don't have a dark squared bishop, we're defending the dark squares, but I feel like that's such a cliche thing to say, so I'm not officially saying that. Alright, let's take a deeper look at rook c5. Okay, so we can see that this pawn is a cool target for opponents. At the same time, the knight is defending it, and this knight doesn't really have any intention of going anywhere. So yeah, black to move. What should Topalov do? Yeah, I don't have much high hopes of Topalov watching this either. You know, maybe he's bored just scrolling through St. Louis Chess Club's YouTube channel and sees this. Sure, that would be cool. Or you guys can start pinging him. No. But yeah, most of the puzzles that I do or the games that I show are from deceased players. or myself. So that's kind of I already know what I'm thinking, and I can't really ask the deceased people to answer. Don't have that ability yet. So could ask Topalov. Alright, Queen G5. Nope, I'm not gonna exchange the queens, at least not in the next few moves. Because if we exchange the queens, then black is left with a pretty scarred up position for his pawns. Let me rephrase that. You are left with somewhat of an unpleasant strategic position. There we go. You kind of lose your dynamic. How old am I? I am 22 and half, I guess. I wish I was 18 with my current knowledge. Yeah. If I had the power, I think that would be my when to go back to. But I want to keep my current brain. So I see this idea like something with queen c8, something with rook c8, bishop c8. Bishop c8 is the best one, because another way to think about it, you gotta make a decision. Are you going to eat this? Not right now, so do this bishop c8. And the funny thing is, after Karjakin played queen e4, Topalov was like, alright, well, why not? Let's see if our opponent wants to do our repetition. And that's something that I've actually talked pretty deeply about in other games that have been repetition, and that's a technique that I've used myself. If you have watched my other videos, I've definitely spoken about this before. You don't necessarily have to want to make a draw to do the repetition. You can just do it to see what your opponent says. If your opponent wants to do it, whoa, don't go anywhere. Great. If your opponent doesn't want to do it, no problem. So, whoa, wait, why is no, stop going, stop leeches. Okay, bad leeches. Yeah, I think that's something to keep in mind. We shouldn't avoid the idea of repeating moves because we are trying to not make a draw. We can do it to gain time. When you're in time trouble, you can do it to psychologically mess with your opponent. So it's like you're like offering a draw, but not officially. You also want to see if they do the third repetition, then the power is in your hand. Are you gonna accept their unofficially not spoken draw, or are you gonna do something else? And most of the time when people do something else, then the opponent is either like a little crushed, or needs like a minute to himself to get his motivation back up. So yeah, repetitions are fun. So ergo bishop e7, and so now White's Karjakin did not actually do the queen g4 anymore. So it's my understanding that White would ideally want to do something with, White has more space, so probably something ideally against this king, against this pawn. So that those should be the long-term plan, but right away White cannot achieve them. So in order to try and achieve them, Karjakin played h3. Now again, Karjakin, if you watch this video, be sure to leave a comment to say why you played h3, because h3 is again one of those moves that I kind of understand, but I'm just like, huh? So yes, I feel like h3, I'm not necessarily recommending queen g4 and going for the repetition, but at the same time, maybe something like b4, maybe it's time. But h3, yeah, I'm in between two. Like every move, my preference kind of changes. Right now with h3, I'm not regretting this bishop b7 because okay, h3, now I get this knight h4. And with knight h4, now we are actually doing some ideas for White's king. However, in the game, Karjakin played a whooping bishop d3, threatening mate on h7. So, question. Black to move, how do we stop the mate? What are some of the move preferences? Yeah, the goal was to play something with bishop d3. So I get that white wants to play this g4, but g4 also extremely weakens the king. So you basically have two choices. Either you're gonna bring the knight or you're gonna bring the rook. No, g6 just gives me some creeps. g6, you're also weakening your h6 pawn, so something like queen e3, and that's not making me very happy. Like king g7, bishop e4, defending this. Now my bishop is in an awesome position. Well, white's bishop is in an awesome position. This knight is in a great position. No, this is way better for white. We shouldn't allow this queen move and then bishop e4. Ow. Yeah, I made some changes in my room and now I don't have enough room for my feet. That's going to be a interesting challenge to overcome for US Championship. Don't know where to put my legs. Oh yeah. Okay. So I see there are some ideas with rook f5 and knight f5. I agree. One of those two. How about rook f5? Is there anything that you're absolutely worried about when you play rook f5? Because with rook f5, it's like, with rook f5, you're bringing your rook, but you're at the same time exposing your rook to potential discovery attacks. I'm aware of the noise on the microphone. I tried to make it a little better. Apparently I failed. And I don't think it's the noise that's the problem. The problem is that my laptop overheats and throws in the noise. So that's also another thing that'll be interesting for US Championships. Ha. Yeah, I gotta figure some technical stuff out before the tournament, because the last thing I want is my laptop just giving up on me middle of the game. I think that's the worst way to lose. Actually, no, the worst way to lose is when the opponent castles and gives you checkmate, but after that, that's losing because of your laptop is the worst way to lose. Yeah. Also, great to know that I have some Persian speakers in the chat. It's good to know. I usually get some regulars on the Twitch channel, but I think I've never seen you around here, Behruz, but welcome. Okay, so enough psychobabblings. Let's go back to the actual game. With rook f5. So, is there, I kind of asked this, is there anything that actually worries you guys? And I saw some g4s, but I'm not really worried about g4 because, well, first of all, haha, make your king weak. Second of all, this knight is dropping. I can just take over the bishop. I can take over the rook. Yeah, please take that. Also, do I have this maybe knight f3s? Now, I'm not gonna really stay on knight f3 when there's a free thing to eat. I'll definitely eat that. So I wouldn't really worry about g4. But bishop b1 is something that potentially could be worrisome, because now the knight on d5 is defended, and so that's one thing. So now, what do you think we should do as black? So this is actually one of the critical moments in the position, because, well, for the first time, black has enough room to breed, and black is trying his best to try and, eat some pawns or form some attack. You see, all of the pieces are doing something useful. Well, maybe not the queen as much, but so can we eat this pawn? That is my question. Can we eat this pawn and get away with it? Yeah, not many Iranians actually do stream because of, I assume, the internet issues in Iran, which, I mean, if I was in Iran, I wouldn't. It's way too much problem to stream. So, yeah. Okay, so I see some lot of no's actually. Wait, but what is wrong? Why can't I eat this? If I take this, I see that I actually haven't seen why. Like, I haven't really actually gotten a reason. I see a g4, but I don't think g4 is actually worrisome because now I have knight f3. Even if I didn't want to do this rook h3, just knight f3 should be enough to win. Because let's say king g2, I take over here, you take this. Can I just take here and then take on b1? Yeah, I think this should be enough to win. So g4 doesn't work. You can't really take that because I will definitely eat your queen. You could take it, but I will eat your queen. So you could think about queen f5, I guess, but knight f5, and if you take on c3, I believe the biggest problem is that knight d4, and my knight is centralized. Now I get the chance to bring the queen, and your rooks don't really have open files. Oh, hello, Josh. Oh, well, yeah, probably sacking the queen does look like it. I'm not the grandmaster here, Josh is, so we're gonna go with that. But I don't. Yeah, I don't want to give up my queen. If I could play something maybe with like rook d3 or rook c2 and keep my queen, that's what I would do if I were white. And actually in the game, Karjakin, I keep saying Kramnik, played queen g4 as well. And so after queen g4, let's see. What do you want to do? It's obvious, both of your rooks under attack, so you should have something smart to do, otherwise rook c3 was a mistake. So what do you think is that smart thing to do? So let me rephrase. Black to move, how do we get away with not losing one of our rooks? What is wrong with knight e3? Well, your knight is pinned. Well, that's a great question, Manish. Well, we can't really just take this knight, because if we take it, it just takes on f5, and now still attacking this, and I don't want to do this. I don't want to lose some stuff. If I wanted to lose stuff, I wouldn't have taken rook takes c3. Rook f3 don't necessarily work. Knight f3, so let's knight f3. He just takes back with the pawn, and your two rooks are still. Actually, there's rook g5. Rook g5. Knight takes c3. Rook take g4. Take back. Take d1. Yeah, okay, that actually still looks pretty good. Knight f3. How about knight f3? I just play something like checks. No, I should be able to just take this, right? What am I missing? Yeah, that's it. That's it. White has way too much material for a queen. So yeah, knight f3 doesn't work. Rook g5 now also I don't believe it works, because again, take over here, take on g4, take, and d6 is falling. And remember, the only the position that we saw, if there was a if their knight was on d4, then okay, I like this position, I would play this. But your knight on h4 is also paralyzed. Okay, attacking g2, but can be stopped with a simple f3. Your pawn on d6 is super weak. The rooks are gonna start attacking your king. So this is actually much better for white in this position. So that's like +5. So yeah, the knight f3. Wait, knight f3, king. Why would white play king h1 if he played knight f3? Because king h1, yeah, we take over here, we take over there. I guess I can take this. Okay, yeah, this is much better for black. But I don't see why would, well, no, I gave up the move. Why would white not take it? Take it, it's free stuff. So, because I also gave the move up, h5 is the strongest move. So, you know, he's attacking our rooks. We tried attacking his king with checks. It doesn't really work. How about we attack his queen? Right? So the thing is, after h5, if white were to play something like queen f5, knight f5, and then you take on c3, now we have knight d4. So this is the position that we want. We want the knight to be in the center, and then we can form our attack on that pawn. There's no rook takes d6, don't have to worry about getting back rank mated, you know, those stuff. So that's why queen f5 doesn't work. And in the game, Karjakin played queen e2, which was a bad move, and you will tell me why. But just to tell you what was the best move. Best move was queen a4, which is a little weird to find, because the whole game is happening here. Why would I move my queen all the way to the other side? And actually the other side is a song by Jason Derulo. I've been listening too much to his songs. I need to stop. But he does have very good singing voice. And let's get back to chess before I put a huge ad. Oh, I'm a Jason Derulo's fan. So, after queen a4, I think it's just, I don't know if I would be able to find this queen a4. So AZ, it's not all the time that it would win. It depends on the position, it depends on the activity of the rooks. So if you could take on d6 and then do like a rook d8, and then you're picking up my queen and I don't even really have king h7 because you have a bishop there, then yeah, those two rooks are way better than a queen. So yeah, so after queen a4, I think simply something is queen c6, bishop c6. Keep attacking the queen because your two rooks are still under attack. And if you take, now this is a slightly better way for white to do this, because there is like an open file, so white could try to put the rooks up there, something like this. I mean, I don't know why I am showing a repetition, but that's the general idea, to try and exchange the knight so rook can pick up some pawns. Alright. Let's go back. What if white played queen a1? Whoa, where? Here? Queen a1. This king is beginning to really scare me. Like, I kind of want to just start bringing pieces. Queen g5 comes to mind. Rook h3 comes to mind. Yeah, you can't leave your king that much unprotected. I think even queen g5 is sufficient enough to win. Rook h3 is much better, but I think queen g5 is a move that anybody would easily find. Yeah, this is pretty chill. Queen g3 coming up next. Alright, this is super winning. Okay, let's go. I want to be able to at least show this game before I have to give the wheels of fortune to Dennis. Okay, so queen e2. Then what do you think we should do as black? We already talked about how we want to bring up pieces, so where can we bring up these pieces? Sorry, I was messing with the cat. I don't know if you caught that or not. Okay, I think you guys are doing great. Yes, Queen G5. Easy peasy. Yeah, Queen G5, you just want to do mate. You know, mates are fun. But the best way for white to stop this is F4. I mean, I guess bishop E4 is possible too, but if bishop E4, I think I'll just take rook H3. No? Yeah, I think rook H3 is the easiest way to win, because it's not like you can eat this, I'll give you checkmate. So F4, still hoping to eat some pieces, you know, a bunch of stuff is under attack. So what do you want to do after F4? Yeah, rook F3 is actually better than taking on H3, but rook H3 is something that anybody should be able to see. Yeah, we gotta take the pawn, but with what? Because if we take e takes F4, then the knight could take C3, the bishop could take F5, so you gotta do rook takes F4, exactly. And in the game, actually, Karjakin did something pretty weird, like King H1. King H1 was a bad move. Knight takes F4 is actually the best try, even though it's a pretty desperate try, it is the best one. And now black best move, knight F3 check. Now you move the king, queen takes F4. This looks pretty devastating for white, but it is actually the best try, something like this. However, I understand why it would be hard to see this. I see, Aryan, that's a great question that I don't know, and since he's still among us, we have a great chance of asking him. So feel free to start asking Karjakin and let me know what he says. But no, aside joking, King H1 is supposedly like a prophylaxis move, but it doesn't feel so prophylaxis because, well, your position is already very much under pressure and you are kind of losing, so either you might as well try to eat some pieces. So for example, maybe knight takes c3, because if knight takes c3, then actually knight f3, and we could just do queen g3. Yeah, take, and this is also super winning. So yeah, king h1, take, and finally this, rook g3. I think rook g3 was a great I think rook g3 was a great move, but not the best move. So can you guys tell me what is the best move? Be easy, me too. I really wish more beautiful men played chess too. I wish all beautiful people, all beautiful girls, boys, we should have a tournament for beautiful cats. I'm pretty sure my cat would win. Hold on, actually, Veselin does have a pretty cute cat. Alright, my cat would definitely be in the first top 3. I don't know many good-looking dog chess players, though. Be easy. I think you have good intentions, but be careful. It's a very slippery slope. And I don't think, yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, we do need, maybe I'll do a full segment of beautiful cats. Only if Veselin agrees to do a stream cat with me. Alright. Yeah, be easy, I'm not gonna argue with that. Okay. Before we make this into a beauty pageant, let's go back to what do you think is the best move? So I see a bunch of bishop d5s, rook g4s, some rook h3s. I see a lot of different ideas, and queen h4 seems to be the quickest way to win. So I think queen h3, I think queen h4, you're still going for like this rook h3, right? And then you want to do like a rook g4 or a rook g3. Okay, this queen is falling. That's besides the point. I think after queen h4, maybe white could try something like bishop d3 and rook d4. And then we could continue for d5, eating, and this seems to be going well. I mean, okay, maybe I don't assume bishop g8 is the only move to play, but that was what the engine said, and that's why I'm showing it. But I wouldn't recommend bishop g8, you're just defending queen f8, but you could also just play king g8 to stop it, so don't feel the pressure to think about something like bishop g8. But anyways, let's go back to the actual game. So here, actually, Topalov made a small blunder because he didn't do like the easiest way to win. He played rook g3, but this is still pretty winning. So in the game, Karjakin took, will eat the queen, and take on h3. And then rook back to g3. I think the easiest way to want to win is just push this pawn. And so this is super winning, especially because, well, you only have one pawn. If you add a bunch of more pawns, then okay, white would be doing alright, because a rook and a knight and a bishop, not everybody's dream. Alright, so rook g3. I think white gotta try and cover up the king, so something with rook f2. I don't understand king g8. Well, I guess he was just trying to get away from these kind of checkmates, so okay, king g8. But maybe just queen e7. No? Alright, so king g8 is not like the end of the world. So, and finally, we can start pushing that pawn. We don't really have to worry about something like that because there's a queen d8. And, alright. Okay, now you gotta be careful. There's rook c8. So, in the game, Topalov just went queen g4. And I believe that should be significant enough. So, no more back rank checkmates. And, what else? What else can we think of? It would be awesome if we won this game like 10 moves ago, but this is still pretty winning. So, defend, defend, and so keep in mind, if we have the chance to give up this queen for the two rooks, we should definitely do it, because, okay, I think everybody would comfortably agree that this pawn endgame is super winning. So that's the idea. We should want to push the pawns, get some pieces, get some pawns connected. If he tries to take this, well, that's a lovely blunder. And this is super winning. I'm just trying to show you how white will lose this. I highly doubt anybody would lose this as black, as long as you don't blunder your queen. So yeah, yeah. Actually, never mind. White's right now resigned. I believe mainly because the e2 is coming up, queen f4 is coming up, and ooh, how about queen f2? Oh yeah, queen f2 is also coming up too. I really like this. Yeah, so even queen f1 and then turning e2. Yeah, this is way too lost for white to want to continue. And alright, so I am going to end the stream pretty soon, especially because I got Dennis Barros who gotta do the endgame class. And yeah, I think tonight was very good. Very energetic, a lot of interesting stuff in the chat. I'm still looking for that cat cute duel with So Wesley's cat, so make sure that any of these three people, So Wesley, Karjakin, Topalov, if you see this stream, make sure to leave a comment for different reasons. Topalov, I want to know why you played h6, Karjakin, why you played h3, and So Wesley, when are we doing the cat stream? Alright, I am going to, I'm teaching the Friday classes on the Twitch channel, so make sure to tune in and watch those. and I can't believe it's already October almost. 24 more hours. So have fun, make sure to stick around and watch Dennis Bars show you some cool endgames.